I'm curious if this is conjuring any Cold War movies for you guys. Do you have a favorite Cold War movie that's sort of nuclear oriented?
The China Syndrome always comes to mind as a favorite of mine. Jane
that
Fonda.
coffee cup, the little the trimmers in the right. That's where you first see it. Oh boy, that's it's about that visceral.
That theoretical China Syndrome, a nuclear meltdown could go through the core of the Earth to, the antipodal point on the other side of the planet. I always loved that one. And then like War Games was always a big one for me growing up. Lizzie, I'm not sure if there are any that come to mind for you.
Definitely. I mean, immediately as soon as you were starting to explain the sort of like race to blow up more and more and bigger nukes, it immediately makes me think of the Doomsday Machine and Dr. Strangelove, of course. And just, the whole concept there being that you needed to explain the existence of the Doomsday Machine in order for it to be effective, but they didn't do that. They just built it. And I love the sort of, you're 10 steps ahead and yet also 15 steps behind on that one. That feels applicable. And then I just always, it's not a movie, but man, I loved The Americans.
Oh yeah.
That show is so good. And such an interesting exploration of the like mentality behind both the American and Russian sides of the Cold War.
And it's interesting, what you're describing is very much it is the climax, spoilers, of The Iron Giant, which the movie ends with a nuclear device being detonated in space because the Iron Giant, as I wept, flies up to meet it and sacrifice himself to protect humans. And that movie is very much about, like, could a weapon decide that it didn't want to be a weapon? Which is a really interesting concept when you have all of these incredible nuclear technologies that could be used for energy and were being used to greater and greater explosive effect.
Yeah. Wow. That got deep.
Sorry.
Well done. No,
Watch The Iron Giant. It's a great movie. Lizzie disagrees.
It is.
But
it's a classic.
I didn't say it wasn't a great movie. I just didn't shed a single tear. So maybe I have no soul.
I'm cutting your feed, Lizzie. I'm cutting your feed.
Sorry.
This to me is very War Games also, that one that you brought up. And I think mainly that movie was such a big deal to me as a kid. I saw it on HBO like over and over and over again.
Yeah, and like, are these men exploring the frontiers of science, or are these little boys playing very dangerous games? Like, by putting it in that context, it really draws a really stark juxtaposition that's interesting, and I think forces some compelling thoughts from the audience. I still think that movie's really effective to this day.